So this is the time of the month, around the 1st, the time releasing this is your ex coming back. And this is for those of you who are actually anticipating and hoping that somebody might return, or you are considering to return back to them. This is also good for on and off relationships and kind of like get a better perspective and balance. This is also very good for people to know what is he or she thinking if you're thinking in a distance. Now this is a general reading, and this may be a message for you. There are like thousands of people viewing these videos, so maybe you needed to receive this message, or maybe it wasn't for you. So don't jump the gun. Maybe some other message is going to go being directed to you. It is only the personal reading that I kind of like summarize and summon that energy for you. If you are here the first time, please stay on to kind of like see the explanation to why am I doing this. If you're not, hey guys, just jump right in. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a few seconds. So if you're the first time here, I'm going to explain to you this set of cards. These are the cards taken from a different deck. You will see the same cards in this one as well, and they are so-called significators in tarot. I don't know how much you know about tarot, but spreads are not as easy as they appear to be. Sometimes it looks like, oh, just like people throw things together. No, it is like, do you want to, it's like cooking. You cannot put everything with everything to actually work out. So it took me forever. Actually, that 7th card, it's just like a lottery. It was really, really difficult, and literally getting a good spread, it is like a bingo. So I have these 7 cards. They're like just like the titles of the book, and I'm not reading those cards. They're just representing what I want to find out here. What I'm reading is like what is coming underneath. And so again, this is for those of you who either have on and off relationship, or who are hoping for the ex to come back, or who actually really want to peek in their mind and to see what they're thinking about you. That's kind of like really neat feature of this spread. So the very first card, the Magician. The Magician is generally somebody who can create anything out of nothing. As above, so below, from A to Z. Like, this is not an advertising for Amazon. Something that can actually really go forward. Generally in this category, I really want to see the things that are going for you. So if you have negative cards here, of course, maybe something was just like not a go from the beginning, or it's not starter. Temperance is purposely reversed, because in the upright situation, Temperance talks about everything in the right time, the right place, right person. Stars are lining up. But when this reverses, stars are not lining up. Something is off. And here we are discovering what needs to be glued, what is off. The Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands will be significators, either or. One can be you, another one can be a partner. They are interchangeable because, of course, the relationship flows 2 ways. As you're seeing here, those are those wands, arrows going through the air. It's the energy in between the 2 partners, the communication. The reason that for everybody I'm using wands, I really think when we are into back to reconnection mode, we also want to be enticing, we want to be active, and hence we kind of like get into this kind of like wands situation, and we all become wands in that situation, and then slowly we are kind of like going back to whatever is our normal mode. Now these 2 cards, the Judgment, I'm literally looking here, is this relationship karmic? Is this relationship is in your best interest? What from the past issues you're bringing here to the fore to actually really deal with, and why this relationship even existed? Kind of like really important category, what you need to clear in order for you to move forward, even if your ex doesn't come back. And then lastly, for Wands, is telling me what is the future of this relationship? What can happen? Can you go to this next level or not? So I think this kind of like was not taking too much time, and now that you know all the significators, let's start going in the reading. So is your ex coming back? Hi Pisces, and welcome to your June forecast. And again, this can be all messages just for you or none. The only really way to really be specific is to check your own reading. So I usually stop and I don't cut the cards I wanted to show you when a significant card comes out. It sounds to me that there's a message to someone who is feeling either denial or fear. There is definitely a need here to sort of like take the blindfold, realize that you're really not stuck in a situation, that things actually can and will get better. So let's see, Pisces for June. Pisces for June. So let's start. 5 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles reversed. Let's see if this can be better. There you go. A tiny little bit better. Page of Cups reversed. Ace of Pentacles reversed. It almost like sounds, Pisces, that you're like so out of something. It could have been a situation where somebody violated you. This could actually also indicate to me physical violence, and I'm really sorry if this is what happened. And maybe something for somebody was needed to leave home, because Page of Cups definitely talks about rejection. Either you're rejecting someone or somebody's being rejected, and just like sort of like this is a no-go. It's kind of like a very stern kind of like thing that certain things just like felt completely off. I don't know, maybe it could be children in a situation, maybe 2 of them. Maybe one child kind of like wants to stay around, another one doesn't, or maybe there's a negotiation what to do about that. But it certainly looks like that your partner at the very least was childish and not really contributing in the situation. And it really keeps telling me there is a situation that maybe could have involved even living together, or maybe even going to the next stage. I do have all these pentacles, and basically karma segment over here is telling me some details have been overlooked. And let's have this talk, Pisces. I mean, you're sweet. This kind of like is your card, but sometimes sweetness is not what the doctor ordered. And I think you realize that, because I do see that was like a kind of push and pull in the past. But when you kind of like really want to be agreeable and nice and kind, the other person keeps pushing their own agenda. Because this card here also talks about boundaries, right? They're playing this game, how far I can push, what I can do over here. And sometimes probably this push will be just too hard. Each of them sort of like have their own thing and what they're really doing over here. Definitely there was like a need for attention to the details. I definitely see lots of earth here, so that's the grounding, a relationship, a marriagey kind of like feel over here. Yeah, you know, it could have been something really official, because the King of Swords can also be a judge, and Queen of Pentacles reversed is telling me that you have lost a sense of who you are in this relationship. Maybe you were competing completely in the area where you shouldn't be competing. Like, you know, when intelligent people try to compete on beauty, or beautiful people who are not smart compete on intelligence, right? It's not where you excel, because the Queen of Pentacles reversed, she's whiny, she's clingy, she's like, oh, look how pretty I am. And this is not you. You guys are sort of like a soul, kind of like, right? And it kind of like was taking a really big part of you, and maybe this is like what kind of made you lash out and finally kind of explode, which if that happened, I'm glad, because that kind of like, it's like a sobering experience. Let's see what else we have. The Strength reversed. 10 of Pentacles. Somebody just definitely didn't want to commit. Maybe this is simply talking about a possibility about willing to go in a relationship with somebody, willing to, you know, do things. But they are not willing to do that. They kind of like don't see that future. They kind of like do not want to pass it. So maybe this is why you're kind of like feeling really rejected. And it again, it comes strength on this. This could have been something really too much to handle, like, and it could be a violence. Now, the Devil card talks about a whole bunch of dependencies, including codependency. Codependency talks about when we feel that we are in love, we kind of crave this person. It's like a drug, right? That's why it's falling in the same category. But this is the situation where we cannot really trust our brain. So if you feel like almost like I cannot breathe, I cannot do this, this is kind of like not love. That is codependency, and that's represented with the card Devil in tarot. That's why the chains are here, right? Like it's kind of feeling, well, somebody's pulling the strings, so hence there is like that kind of like hook on you. This card also can talk about exes. This can talk about marriages and cheating, right? Where there is like, you know, people tend to be very lonely when in relationships, when they kind of like rely on one partner, they think they're rolling in the same direction, and then, you know, the call is not coming. They feel more lonely than basically single people or people who have nobody, and this is all kind of contained in this. This is kind of like a really difficult situation that I see over here. And look at this, we have the Karma card. So this situation was for a reason. Maybe you were supposed to acknowledge that certain things don't work for you, and no matter how much you want it, you shouldn't be pushing yourself in this direction or in that situation. This person could be very immature that you have dealt with in the first place. Maybe they don't know what they want, maybe they are depressed, maybe they're rejecting everything that is being placed in front of them, being actually simply difficult. Maybe they are sort of like that Peter Pan, always looking for something, and yeah, that's great for a story, but how about, you know, life? And maybe it's your realization saying, look, you know, maybe I see potential in this person, but hey, the potential is never going to happen, so let's deal with what is here and now, and that's all I have to look into that. Karma is saying, yeah, coming back to the situation, right? Because this is this proverbial trip, travel over troubled waters, so troubled waters, calm waters, right? But it's reversing. So it is coming back to the situation that has been difficult, or addressing it, maybe looking at the details. Maybe now you can go back, instead of romanticizing the situation or feeling rejected or feeling destitute or feeling fear or denial. Why don't you look back into those red flags that you did have? You had them for quite a while, but you kind of like pushed them aside. And there is the soulmate card here. So maybe you're feeling this person is a soulmate, and it's kind of like very important for you to feel this contact. Sometimes because we think so much of somebody, they think back at us, and vice versa, and then they kind of like doesn't really go in a good direction. Well, most of the time. Sometimes it does. Maybe this simply means that partner is returning as well, because the Judgment card, the Karma card, is saying, look, something from the past has to be aired out. Has to be aired out. You have to see what went right, what went wrong, and has to be clean, the slate. So sort of like, if you let somebody in, then you do need to know this person doesn't want to commit. You do need to know this person is childish. So you cannot take this person with, hey, they will change. You sort of like have to take them and just forget anything else. You can just like literally be with them right here, right now. So let's see where this is heading. Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, pardon me, Eight of Cups, Seven of Swords, King of Cups reversed, Queen of Cups, and Two of Pentacles. So again, I see these pentacles here. So it's interestingly, finally, there is a good pentacle in this category, and this is something that kind of like does work, would work for you. But this is warning me that somebody is, one person really doesn't want to be alone. Another person is not mature enough to commit. So it's not a good situation. You don't even have one part of that you can glue. You have two parts that need to work on them. And this card is very important card if it came in the other, in any other kind of like category, and also if it came upright. This would mean, hey, you're enjoying who you are. You know who you are. You're kind of like appreciating, and you know what you can bring to the table. But when it reverses, especially when it's in this category, what needs to be glued is like, you know, you simply need to keep busy. You cannot trust your own brain actually at this stage. And I feel, Pisces, I really feel, because this is kind of like a drug. You kind of like want to shoot, right? That's kind of like what an addict knows. But people who kind of like think this is love, they're actually not aware that this is addiction. That's crack. That like surfing their social profiles, checking what they're doing, you know, thinking about them all the time. It is actually delaying your own healing. And I think you're kind of like going to just like simply get it. It's going to so hit you. At one point, toward the end of the month, you will be, oh my God, slap yourself on the forehead. I've seen it now. I actually do deserve better. You will just like so get it. You're going to see this person as somebody who was betraying you, and I actually see the cheating. You're going to kind of recognize this. This also could mean cheating, but there's definitely this kind of juggling of the two sides. Maybe this person is going to come back and tell you I love you, but they really just want sex. They just like want you for the body, but they're not, it's not only their fault, because you kind of like to them represented yourself, look, I'm very pretty, and didn't ground this entire kind of like deal on a kind of like basic level. So hence this kind of like went just to the left turn instead of the right turn, because look at it, there's a couple, there's no longer a couple here. But you are actually, especially if you're female, Pisces, you're kind of coming to yourself. You're coming to the self-respect. You're coming to understanding what you need and what you can give. And maybe this also talks about you yourself balancing these kind of like two different sides of, hey, I want this person, and you know, this is what happened, and I don't think this is right for me, because that person is a manipulator. King of Cups reversed means this person will tell you such sweet things, and you're a romantic soul. So when somebody kind of keeps giving you either poetry or roses or sweet things, you kind of trust them. And that's what I said. You know, sometimes trust is really not great quality, and don't take this really like the discard in a stone, because this person is going to prey upon that and keep saying things that you will believe and hope for, and then actually never meant it in the first place. So Pisces, again, this is a general reading. It could be just bits and pieces that are yours, but to get your own, check me out on cattarot.ca. And also, you know, please, if you are still here, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you the next time around. All the best, my sweet Pisces. Love you.